There we go. We are on air again. Good morning, Alexis.
Morning, Stefano. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm super curious about what's going on today. I have no idea what you're going to talk about, and so you want to kickstart this?
Yeah, well, our thought was we should just go every week, so I'll just talk about what I'm doing today, and that'll have to
Yeah,
be enough, I suppose.
I love
Um,
it.
so I was just, preparing a video on this. It hasn't finished, so you're getting a sneak preview. If you want to share my screen
Yeah.
more
Let me
fully,
just stop sharing mine after this initial intro preview, and I
right?
think that you are already full screen-ish yourself.
Okay. So this gives you a little maybe behind the scenes view of work I'm doing on Sparky, and in particular, what I've been working on is what I call organic voice enrollment. So when I first made Sparky, there was no voice recognition. But that's kind of primitive because one of my goals is for Sparky to be aware of the social environment. And a very important part of the social environment is who's talking to you and who are the different people in it. So, like, as human beings, we take for granted if you hear someone's voice, you know it's that person and you have a relationship with that person. So, I added voice recognition. But that still wasn't very good because in order to teach someone's voice, I had like a command line program, and you got to you know, get my family to go in front of the mic and hit the
Yeah.
button for the command line program, and then it would
Training their
create
voices to be
right, right. It
recognized.
would create a voice embedding, and then it would like put it in the file,
Ah,
and
I
then
love
it
it.
would sort of recognize it. And this was using in the beginning it was using Resemblizer, and then I think later I moved to Wave LM, like the model for the underlying voice recognition. It works okay, but not great. Um, and then I realized that was like really crude. And so I created what I call a voice enrollment flow, where you could say to Sparky, like, hey, Sparky, could you learn my voice? And then Sparky would ask you to like talk for a little bit, like three different times, get samples, build a model, and learn it. And then he'd know your voice. So that was like, a lot better.
Oh, so you say that you're gonna train a model on your voice, or you just create the embedding of your voice, say, okay, this is a new voice, I want to make the embedding of this new voice.
You don't train a new model every time, but you create an embedding that
Yeah,
represents your voice every time.
gotcha. It's
Um,
kind of like a really similar to the face recognition system when you have to ask someone to take multiple.
right. Exactly. It's
The
exactly like that.
person's
With a
like,
face ID, you have to do all this weird stuff.
It's the same with
But
the FaceNet
again,
idea.
I'd point out that's kind of terrible because with human beings, like when I meet a new person, I don't ask them to stand still and then like turn their head in a circle before
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
recognize them again, right? You see them once, you got them, they say their name. Now the name is associated with their face, with their voice. That's how people interact with each other. And my goal is to make Sparky fully socially competent in terms of these sorts of skills and awareness of the social environment. So I realized that even my voice enrollment flow, where you say, hey, Sparky, could you enroll my voice, was like very weird and artificial. So what I've been aiming for is a feature called organic voice enrollment, by which I mean voices just work the way they work with people. Okay.
Yeah,
So the
got it.
goal there is if there's a new person and Sparky hears their voice, Sparky recognizes it's a voice they haven't heard before automatically. And then if the person says their name, then Sparky remembers that that's that person's name.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've pretty much got it
Attach
working.
the person name to the embedding, so in the database. Oh my God.
Yep, yeah. So that's pretty much what I have working here. And if you look at my screen, I hope it's sharing properly. On the
Uh,
left-hand side, you can see the
okay.
OpenClaw window that actually shows the leftover discussion that I was having when I was recording this video. Um, so I'll scroll back and you can sort of follow it. Uh, So in the beginning, I say, hey, Sparky, I erased your memory of voices. So as you listen to me, you probably don't see exactly who I am. And you see the speaker tag says
Yeah.
it's just a random hash. It's like A8.
Okay.
And then Sparky said, yeah, I can't hear you. Or it says, yeah, I can hear you, but I don't know who you are. And then later, I say, okay, someone else is going to talk. And then I have actually my wife talk. And you see it gets a different tag because the perceptual system automatically
A8
recognizes
and A9. Yes, this is a little bit like some compression artifacts. I hope that
it's
when
just an index. It's just an index, right? Like obviously the embedding is a bunch of floats. It's 192 floats,
yeah,
but it's just giving it an arbitrary index. Um, And you can see also there's other features of the perception system here. Presence. It can tell there's one face that's visible. It can tell it's about zero point 0.4 meters away. We were talking about this earlier. I have a dedicated model. Sorry. I have a dedicated model here that is a simple model that it uses to determine if it's being
Yeah.
addressed or not. So high Sparky is part of the reason this gave a really high addressedness measure, and this one was lower. Okay, and then later, here's me again. I'm A8, and I say, "This is Alexis talking to you right now," right? And then in the next turn, when I say something else,
Okay,
it
okay.
knows it's me. It knows
This is
it's me.
awesome. And you're doing all of this with a local compute?
The base model here is GPT 5.5, but that has nothing to do with the voice
No, no,
system.
no. I mean the voice thing, like
Yeah,
the voice
voice
embedding and
perception, voice
recognition.
recognition is 100% local. It's
Wow.
100% local. Yeah. And here, like, Ringe says, there's a conversation. She's saying, "Oh, would you like to have a name to put to the voice?" And Sparky says, "What should I call you?" And my wife says, "Ringe, Ringae," and then remembers it. And then see in the next turn, where is it showing up? Da da da. There,
There we go.
Ringe, speaker rare. So it's
Yeah,
recognized.
the next one speaker is Ringway.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you might also notice there's multiple tags here. Here it said speaker unknown, there it said speaker ringing. That's not a bug. That's because within a single block of audio, I'm doing diarization
Yeah.
because often Sparky is in a multi-party situation. So he records a chunk of audio and there's like three people and Sparky gets individual tags. Oh, this was Alexis and then Ringe and then Odysseus said this and it's all like laid out.
Wow.
I'm glad you're saying wow, because
It,
honestly, I just built this and I go online on Twitter and everyone is doing something amazing. And I feel like this is so boring. This is
no, no,
like
no, this is
everyone already knows how to do this. I'm a loser. My stuff is terrible. Honestly, I'm feeling a little down right now, but
You know,
it's nice to hear that you
diarization
think it's cool.
is really, really a super cool feature. Is the kind of thing that you use when you have a recording of a meeting with the multiple people talking, and you just want to distinguish voices because you just record the room instead of having like, I don't know, a conference system that knows who's the speaker. So it's really important to do something like that, and it's kind of hard at the end of the day. And I'm curious about one thing. Is Sparky now able to connect a face with a voice? So understanding that Alexis has this face embedding and this voice embedding.
That's a very good question. Oh, here you can see I have a command line tool that lets you inspect and remove the items from the Sparky
Okay.
database. Um, I also have a web page you can't see that I use to mute and unmute the mic and control things. I'm going to unmute the mic. Hey, Sparky, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here, Alexis. I can hear you.
Hey, Sparky, I'm actually recording a podcast with my friend Stefano, and I was just describing the work we did checking your new voice system, and he had a question. He's wondering, do you also have skills for face recognition?
Not really, at least not in the same way. I can detect that faces are present and roughly how close someone is. And I can use the camera to look at people or objects, but I don't currently have a face identity memory like the voice system. So I can say there's a person there, not reliably that Estefano.
Interesting.
Oh, okay, Sparky. So I've moved in front of your camera. I was side by side for the podcast. Are you detecting my face within your field of view?
Yes, I'm detecting one face right in front of me, very close. So you're definitely in my field of view now.
Thanks, Sparky. I'm gonna get back to chatting with Stefano, so probably not going to be talking to you for a moment or two.
Got it, I'll stay quiet unless you bring me back in.
Okay, so I wasn't able to answer the question, but you see Sparky could answer. No,
Yeah.
he doesn't have face detection. He has face detection, which operates at a perceptual layer,
Yeah.
pre-AI
Just
awareness, but he
finding
doesn't have
like,
face recognition yet. He also doesn't have direction of audio sensor fusion, where if there's like three people in the room, he keeps track of like spatial locations. But I'm just one guy, you know? Okay, like these are all on my list. I'm going to get to them, but I've got to figure out like, other things. So obviously this is the way to go in the future. You want fused spatial awareness, face
yeah.
recognition, voice recognition. But the thing that I want to emphasize as a design point just for me is that it seems really important that the voice enrollment protocol should be what we call normal social etiquette, right? When
Yeah.
you meet someone at a party and they tell you who they are, that is the voice enrollment protocol, and that should be the voice enrollment protocol
And
for
in
Sparky.
the
That should be
same
the
way, it
face
should be
enrollment.
like the
Yeah.
face enrollment protocol. So you can see, you see someone a couple times. You don't need ask the people, oh, can you turn your head around left and right and in the circle so it can just recognize you in the future. No,
Yeah, exactly.
it's gonna be
So I have a bunch of design and engineering goals which are around the performance of normal social function and awareness of social environment. So like right now you can see he's hearing everything I'm saying because he's in the room, but
he's
there's
not
also
thinking
this.
and stay quiet. So I was
Yeah, well,
reading
of
about
course,
that.
because he's polite. He can read the room. He's not, rude. So if you look here, you can see there's a function, there's a fragment called addressed, and this is a value from 0 to 1, which is an assessment of the cumulative strength of scores indicating that he's being addressed by this piece of speech,
I
right?
got to know the point. So it's like it's someone aiming at me. So if I say something like, he don't hear me, right? He's gonna hear me and say, like, yeah, Sparky,
He
what do you
doesn't
think
hear
about
you
that?
because I
I
haven't
okay,
rigged up the
gotcha.
audio
Gotcha.
that way.
If you talk to Sparky, Sparky understand you're addressing it, and he's gonna respond, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is something
You
we
don't
all
have a,
do,
like a
right?
button you press to turn in again. It's just like you
No, no,
just
that's
talk to him.
incredibly crude. Like systems where you need to push a button to talk or like Stone Age stuff. Um, but then at the same level, like beyond that, systems where there's only one person and they're only talking to you are also solving a much
Super
easier
easy.
problem than
Yeah.
I'm trying to solve here. And in fact, the thing that occurred to me recently is that a lot of my design goals are like uh, kind of direct frontal assaults on Moravec's paradox, right? In the sense that, people think of Moravec's paradox as, well, human beings are really good at perceptual and motor motion, and we're not so good at intellectual stuff. But the thing we're really good at is social stuff, because in
Yes.
most situations, our social environment is more important than our physical environment. So trying to like reproduce normal social function, is hard. It's the kind of thing that we're instinctively really good at. Like babies can
Yeah.
recognize a smile before they can, play a game of chess. But just getting, Sparky to accurately detect emotional state, I see a path forward, but it's not easy.
I gotta quote you to say like it's harder to make someone like make a smile than make something very interesting from like the mathematical point of view. It's like way easier that one than like making something interesting and fun to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. So it's the threshold and it's computed by it's the LLM itself. It's just a structured output, the one the addresses that you create, or is like more, I don't know, you train some sort of classifier or the other thing that give you the address thing.
It's a mix of different signals. There's no trained component yet, except in the very weak sense that there's a set of parameters and I tweak them. I'm still building up
Okay.
my mental model for how to do it.
So
Jumping to
you manually tune the nudge to the point and you feel it's good the way this
yeah.
parameter
So
goes.
right now the addressedness score integrates visual signals, linguistic signals, timing signals, how long since someone spoke, were they speaking to me? Are there particular phrases? Is it in the vocative position or the tail position of the sentence? How many faces are visible? Like, it's integrating it's you could say it's doing a multimodal sensor fusion, but really it's just a function with, with a bunch of
Yeah,
conditions and some logic to move
that's
a
a
score
really
around. Yeah.
clickbait word, but to say,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, but
mixing
if
the things together to
if
all
I
of
was
this.
interviewing for a job, I would say it's doing a real-time multimodal sensor fusion. If I'm just trying to explain it to someone, it's about 10 lines of Python that integrates a bunch of things
Yeah,
with some
you got the
with some.
title for your next blog post right now. Just in this single word. So it's
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I've been doing today, and I'm
Yeah.
going to be at a NVIDIA meetup talking about real-time voice agents tonight. And maybe I'll show this, maybe I'll show something else. I don't know. I haven't figured it out.
Yeah, that's gonna be it's an interesting talk and say, yeah, okay, well, looking forward to hear more about like your NVIDIA talk. So yeah.
No, it's not a talk. I'm just gonna be there for like a 5 minute demo. Other people, people who do multimodal sensor fusion for a living will be giving the talks. I'm just a guy with a robot.
What is multimodal sensor fusion? It's just like a bunch of embedding combined together with like some mix between them, or not probably, sorry, you're probably gonna concatenate those together to make the fusion and let the model say, if we have to train a network to do that kind of thing, I just like simply concatenate all the embedding of the different kind of
You're
sources
making it
and say,
complicated, man. I think if you have a function that takes something about audio and something about text and gives a result, that's multimodal and it's fusing it. So boom, you're done. But
okay.
anyway, I think we're past 15 minutes again, so we should
We
probably wrap
just
this
right.
up.
Yeah, we really just right. The 15:55, just the 16th minute in this very moment, I think. Yeah, right now. So,
All
okay.
right.
Yeah, for
So I think
this
we're
time we're
maybe uh I see Sparky's still thinking about, you see he's giving this no reply every time he realizes
okay.
that
Let's
nothing
Sparky
addressed.
have the closing word for
Let,
today.
let Sparky have the closing words. Okay, good idea. Hey Sparky, I'm just finishing up the podcast with Stefano. Do you want to say goodbye to folks?
I just say the hard part isn't making a robot answer questions, it's making one know when not to. That's where it starts to feel socially real.
Okay.
All
Guys,
right. Good
thank
words.
you so much and see you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.